Here's a peek at my finished quilt top, and I think it is lovely. All these colors, it's beautiful. And what's awesome is how this white lattice really brings out the bold color in these floral prints. And there's some wonderful colors in here, and they all work great. It just turned out very, very pretty. Now, this is the lap size that I made. It's 59 by 69 inches, so it's a good size quilt. The pattern also comes in a baby size and a twin. So if you buy the kit and you make the initial quilt, then you can also use that pattern to create other sizes. And it may be a pattern you'd like to do a time or two, because this just turns out so pretty. I really, really like how it looks. I want to show you the fabric and the actual quilt kit itself. So let's take a look. Now, these are some fabric strips that we'll be using. And you can see everything is die cut. They're all precisely cut to the same size, which is fantastic. That's going to make putting it together very easy. It also means seam allowance will be important. So you want to make sure you get a good consistent seam allowance on all your pieces in order to be consistent putting this together. Okay, we have a little information card that says on the pattern, you don't have to go all the way from the beginning. You can skip ahead to page 2 for the lap size quilt and not worry about any of the cutting. That's awesome. But look at this pattern. How fun is that? This is a design by Erica Jackman, and we are going to make this fantastic quilt. So the patterns show that this is a level intermediate skill level. And there's 3 fabrics that are included. So I want to show you the fabrics in here. And let's see. So like I said, there are basically 3 groups of fabrics. We have our sashing, and we have our backing and our binding. And you can see we have some extra accent blocks in here. But the quilt is primarily made of a multitude of strips. Look at that. Look at all those florals. Oh my goodness, they are so pretty and so many different colors. This is going to look fantastic together. All right, look at that. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and work on creating this quilt. I'm really excited to see how this looks. I like these colors. Now, this is not my pattern, so I can't give you all the details. That is only available through the pattern that Fabric Hut is offering. And there'll be a link below where you can go and check out this kit as well as other kits. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. The directions look very complete, and I think this is going to go together rather easily. Again, remember, seam allowances, when you have seams that are going to be meeting like this and lots of strips together, we want to keep that seam allowance consistent. So I'll be back and show you how this looks. Now that I finished the quilt top, there are a few things I want to share with you. This quilt pattern is really easy to follow. Now, it is definitely, where does it say? An intermediate skill level. This is not for a beginner, because what's critical, and I mean it really is important, that your seam allowances are pretty much spot on. And that's important because you want to get all these seams to line up. You see how the lattice crosses over. And because everything is pre-cut, you need to make sure it all fits together. It's not unlike a puzzle, like any quilt is, but it comes out beautiful, and it's not difficult. If you practice on your 1/4-inch seam before you get started and, just do a couple sample pieces, you're going to be fine. Now, the other thing, there are some directions in here that, I should say illustrations, some illustrations in here that are very helpful. I'm a visual learner, and I really appreciate the pictures. Now, when I looked at this, I thought this quilt was going to be set on point because it's diagonal. The blocks are not perpendicular. They are diagonal from corner to corner. So I thought there's going to be, some triangles on the sides and such. Absolutely not. These are all straight 90-degree blocks that go together, and it's the way it's laid out and put together that creates this diagonal look. And I really like the look of on point quilts. I just think it gives them a little more of an elegant touch. So I really like the pattern, and it's reusable. So if you buy this kit and you make the pattern, it has everything you need, all the instructions, and it's 3 different sizes: baby, lap, and twin. My size was the lap. Now, the other thing is that there's extra fabric. So when you buy a kit, I know one of my concerns is that I'm going to maybe run out of fabric, make a mistake, need to use extra. And in this case, there were some, extra pieces. Actually, there were even more because I have this little bit that I want to show you. So if you like doing scrappy quilts, you have some great extra pieces to add to your pile. But here's the way I started putting my quilt together. Is there are number of blocks, and you saw in the kit that we have a lot of strips, and these strips need to be sewn together. Chain stitch where needed, and that's going to quicken your process, and it really helped me a lot. There's quite a few different colors, and so I would just pick right out of the pile and sew them together into pairs, and then I would put those into my blocks as needed, and it worked out really well. So there it is, and I'm going to show you the finished quilt here in just a minute, but I really did enjoy making this. Everything you need is here, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And here's a look at the finished quilt. I love all those floral prints. It's bright and beautiful. You'd love to make it yourselves. I do appreciate y'all being here today, and thank you for watching. It's always a pleasure to share this with you. Have a fantastic rest of your day.